Hello again. I have in previous videos mentioned many areas in which I am not an expert. Allow me to add another subject to that long list. I am no expert in economics or finance. In fact, my understanding of both subjects is rudimentary, to say the very least. Despite this deficit in my knowledge, though, I've always been able to fill out my income tax return. Since the whole process became streamlined and is carried out online, doing one's tax return has become an absolute breeze. It is just a question, really, of filling in the figures found on your bank statement showing what has been paid into your account. In other words, how much money you've got coming in. Simple. The tax people then calculate how much you owe, and you can pay by debit card. I cannot offhand imagine anybody of reasonable and average intelligence who could not do such a thing. Seriously, if I can do it, anybody can. Have your bank statements in front of you and then simply add up all the money you have been paid, and His Majesty's Revenue and Customs Service will then work out how much you owe them. It really could not be simpler. It is, however, not simple enough for Rachel Reeves, the Chancellor of the Exchequer, who for the past decade has claimed money in her parliamentary expenses so that she can pay somebody to help her fill in her own tax return. Every year without fail, she charges us, because it is of course us who pay her expenses via our own taxes, around £140 a year for this service. That is £1,225 between 2014 and 2022. She has now been shamed into returning the expenses for this service which she had claimed last April. This is at a time when ordinary people struggle very hard to get through to the relevant government department if they have any questions about their income tax. The contempt shown for the average citizen is breathtaking, and there can only be two possible explanations for what she has been doing, both of which render her unfit to be Chancellor of the Exchequer. The first possibility is that she is so slow-witted or innumerate that she is simply unable to fill out her tax return online. If that is the case, then we can hardly expect her to be able to understand the finances of the nation and how to run them effectively. The second possibility is that she is a greedy spiv who is determined to chisel as much free money out of us as she can possibly manage, and has been, in effect, dipping a hand in our pockets for all she can grab. That too would, I think, make her unfit to be in the cabinet. Either way, we currently have a Chancellor who really shouldn't be in the job, and who should not be allowed near any public funds until she has either learned how to manage her own financial affairs and not pick our pockets simply because she is in a position of trust and therefore able to do so with impunity. By the way, somebody mentioned in the comments here this morning, and I've had a couple of emails about it, that it looks as though I've got bolts through my neck, rather like Frankenstein's monster in the Boris Karloff movies from the 1930s. These are not bolts in my neck at all. There have been complaints that some of my microphones are very difficult to hear properly, that they make my voice indistinct. And so I've invested in a gaming microphone, which comes complete with earpieces, which are what these little coloured bits here are. Just so that nobody thinks that I have unwittingly been turned into a cyborg or something of that sort.